Bangalore.net user group. I'm one of the user leads for Bangalore.net user group. So, how many of you here are JavaScript developers here? You know JavaScript. You have written at least one line of JavaScript, which is so. I like the lady who said, yes, I know JavaScript. That's how it has to be. So if I ask some question, it is yes, this is no, and I don't know this. I cannot deduce what is this. I've seen like, yeah, slowly the hand comes, and I cannot make out. I'm not we know only zeros and one. Anything in between is called as fuzzy logic, and then I don't understand fuzzy logic. I understand only one and a zero. How many of you here have written at least one line of JavaScript which can be alert, hello world? Okay, believe me when I say this, you're all native mobile app developers. I hope everybody understands what a native mobile application is all about. Does anybody know what is special about native mobile apps? Anybody? What is native mobile apps?
Any platform, mobile platform.
How can iOS run on Android? It cannot. So, what is a native mobile app?
That is run on mobile platform, native Android and iOS.
Yeah, maybe there is a mic guy. That's the mic guy. So, if you want to ask any question or anything, please wait for the mic to come so that everybody else gets the question. Otherwise, I would have to repeat the question. So, just raise your hands. We're all engineers. We know that raising your hand means you want to say something. The mic guy is going to come running to you and give you the mic. So take the mic, ask the question so that everybody gets to know what the question is all about. So yeah, so what is a native mobile app?
Native mobile app is a kind
So another thing, hold the mic very closer to your mouth so that I can hear you very clearly.
Native app is a kind of app which can support the application like HTML5 and JavaScript applications, which can be run on any mobile platform like iOS or Android, which will on any kind of.
Okay, so that is not native mobile app, that is hybrid apps. Okay, there's somebody there. Who's my timekeeper?
Native mobile app was like that, which is run on mobile platforms like Android and iOS or Windows.
There you go. So that's what it is. So native mobile app is nothing but you're building a mobile application using the native feature or native languages or native boundaries. What is the native boundary? If I have to build, let's say, Android application, Android native mobile application, you gotta know Java as a language. You've gotta have Android Studio as the IDE. So that's native mobile application development programming model. If you want to build iOS, you got to know Objective-C or now Swift, as Siddharth said. Swift is the new one which is coming in. So you need to know Swift. You need to have something called as Xcode, and you need to have something called as Mac OS. You need to have a Macintosh. Without Macintosh, you cannot do iOS programming. Maybe Sid can go and tell the Cupertino guys that, hey, you should also let us in the Microsoft world build for iOS, because we cannot. So, okay, so we're going to talk about, can you get my screen on the TV? Yeah, it was coming up. I don't want the camera to come up here, so this my screen here. Thank you. So, we're going to talk about something new today. I'm pretty sure you've never heard of this, or if you've heard of it, good. Has somebody heard of this? I'm going to give you a t-shirt now if you have heard about this. None of the Mindfire guys should raise their hands, but only the audience should raise their hands if you have heard about native script. Has anybody heard of it? You heard of native script? Don't lie. Have you heard of it before? Because just for the sake of the t-shirt, don't raise your hands.
No, not for t-shirt. Native script is like Typescript language, which support ES6 or ES5.
I cannot give you, sorry, that's not the right answer. And looks like nobody has heard the concept of native script, which is great for me because that's my talk, right? I want to introduce you to the native script. So if you have learned something about native script before, then my whole next 60 minutes is gone because like, yeah, I know this, he's going to talk the same. But if you don't know, I'm going to keep you like, oh, what is native script? What's he going to talk about next? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So let's talk native script. This changes everything. Believe me when I say that line, this changes everything as you as a developer to build native mobile applications. Why I asked you JavaScript, you will come to know in just a couple of slides, right? If you know JavaScript, I will make you a native mobile application developer by the end of this session. Believe me when I say this. Okay, so that's about me. They gave you a bunch of introduction, energetic, that, this, everything. Yes, I'm 39 years old. That doesn't make anybody old, right? I don't know why everybody keeps, oh, he looks old. No, I'm not old. It's a salt and pepper look that's the same. Which is the sexy look is what everybody says, right? So that's what it is. I don't know why genetically my hairs are getting grey at a very young age. That I don't have no control on that. That's the nature taking over, right? But I'm 39 years old. My name is Lohith. I am a Microsoft MVP. MVP is not a certification. Many of the times people come over and say, what certification did you do to get MVP? No, there's no exam for MVP, right? I've been working with community from last 6 years or so. So Microsoft has recognized me as one of the community leaders. I do a lot of talking, as you can see. The moment Tajit and the other guys came out and said, hey, we want to do tech coalition, a big event, we want you to come there. I was like, yes, let's do it. Because for me, whoever gives me a mic, whoever gives me a stage, I'm ready to come on the talk. I like speaking, so that's what I did. And I do a lot of these talks in Bangalore also. I'm part of a user group called as Bangalore.net user group. It's been there from last 12 years, and we meet every month once. And it's just a community, it's run by passionate folks like me. Along with me, there are a bunch of guys in Bangalore who are very well technology oriented, and they all love technology. So we just meet every month once. We spend 3 hours, we'll have 3 speakers, we talk about 3 things, and then we go home. But we do this every month once. So I write a lot of blogs. You can see my short URL there. I don't know if it is coming up correctly. It's in the bottom. It says about.me/Kashyapa. So that's my short URL. If you want to know more about me, you can just go there and you will get all my coordinates. My LinkedIn, my Facebook, my Twitter. Yeah, I know after this, I'm going to get a lot of friend requests on Facebook. But believe me, I never, kind of say yes to anybody. So don't worry about that. I've written 2 books. Last year I wrote a book for Press, which was using HTML, how do you create Windows applications, Windows 10 based applications. In my day job, I work as a technical evangelist. This is what I do in my day job, going to the customers, going to the developers, and then talking to them about our controls, our things. That's my day job. Explain you what goodies that we have, what goodness that we have, how our controls can help you do a lot of things easier, go to market faster. So that's my day job, technical evangelist. I work for a company called as Progress Software. So everything starts with this question, right? You want to build a mobile app, correct? How many of you want to build a mobile app? Yes? No? I don't understand physiology. Okay, let's try this again. How many of you want to build a mobile app? That should be the one. There is an app for that, is what they say, right? But you know what a Zen is? Zen means you're completely energetic and everything. Zen means that the core thing that you want, but that is quickly lost. Why? Immediately you will come to see that there is iOS, there is Android, there is Windows. Too many platforms, too many pitfalls. There is this concept of native mobile application, there is this concept of hybrid mobile application. Which way to go? You went hybrid, somebody will say, hey, Facebook ditched hybrid. Facebook said HTML5 is not performant, so they ditched hybrid. So don't go hybrid, go native. But with native, what happens is, if you want to go native, you need to learn Java. If you want to go iOS native, you need to learn Objective-C. If you want to go native Windows, you need to know C#. Right? So many of you said you are a JavaScript developers. Wouldn't it be cool if only knowing JavaScript, I can build native Android, native iOS? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about today for the next 45 minutes or so. So you may ask, that's fine, so why native script, right? So the concept of native script is very simple. We let you build native mobile application using the only language that you may be well versed with, which is JavaScript. That is all you need to know. As a language, as a developmental stack, the only thing that you need is your knowledge about JavaScript. Right? Even if you have written a single line of JavaScript, that's more than enough to understand how we do things. So why native script? That's because you develop truly native apps with JavaScript, and basically what we let you do is, so Windows is on the works, meaning the engineering team is slowly building towards the Windows 10 platform, but currently today we have Android and iOS support. You basically build native Android, iOS, Windows Phone apps, built with JavaScript, and how many of you know cascading style sheets? CSS, there you go, right? You know CSS, and how many of you know XML? Everybody has to know XML. That's what the data transformation that we all know of, right? So we let you build a native mobile application with JavaScript knowledge, with CSS knowledge, with XML knowledge. That is all you need to know. And I'm pretty sure you raised your hand when I asked all the 3 questions: JavaScript, CSS, XML. So now you know. You already know how to build native mobile applications, right? The biggest thing. If you are coming from an enterprise, if you are coming from an, some organization, and then you have a team currently which is building a native mobile application, I'm pretty sure there is one guy who works on iOS, there's one guy who works on Android, there's one guy who works on Windows, right? Everything is fine when the first version of the application is released. Now, iteration 1.1, I need to add a feature. I got to audit all the 3 places. I miss one place, Android goes one version above, iOS stays back one version below. So your collaboration, whatever things that have to be done, you now know the pain. Oh, it's becoming a lot of tough to manage 3 teams, manage 3 source code. Whereas the application is only one. It does the same thing. It does the same button click there, here, or wherever. But you have 3 teams, you have 3 source code. With Nativescript, what we allow you to do is single code base. Only one project. Effort is only once. Solution is only one. That's it. And then we can build it for Android, we can build it for iOS, we can build it for Windows Phone, probably 2017 starting. So if you're asking me to tell me more, basically what we do is, with our Nativescript technology or with our Nativescript runtime, we make 100% access to the native APIs through your JavaScript. Meaning, if you know some native API namespaces, like for example Android or widget.button, yeah, I may want to use it somewhere, yeah, you can go to the JavaScript and just say Android.widget.button. I'm going to give you that. Or maybe in the iOS namespaces, you have NSObject.NSPrint or whatever it is, yeah, we surface it out completely onto your particular JavaScript. All you need to know is JavaScript, right? So, another interesting thing about our Nativescript is, I'm a developer first. I'm not speaking here from my company perspective, rather I'm here as a dev. I have seen a lot of technologies do the same stuff, but why I like our Nativescript is because it is built on open standards. When I said XML, XML is industry standard. There's nothing proprietary of Progress or Telerik or all those things. It is an open standard. Then JavaScript. The JavaScript is again open standard, right? It's ECMAScript 5. That's the version of JavaScript that we are writing it today. Plus, the CSS, it's a CSS 3.0 subset that we provide. So, when I talk about Nativescript, I'm not asking you to learn something new. You already know the standard. XML, yeah, this is the syntax. JavaScript, yeah, this is how we use it. CSS, yeah, this is how I write a style sheet. That is all. I'm not really making a read here. I'm reusing whatever the standard that is already there. And I'm sorry how the projector is projecting it, but yeah, there are certain code there which shows how to write a JavaScript or how to write a CSS. But when I do the demo, you'll take a look at that. Plus 100% code sharing, meaning you write once and then it goes every platform. So that's why it's kind of a code sharing. Plus you can use the hardware you already know or already have the hardware. For example, if you are a Mac guy, yes, the Nativescript as a technology is available as a development stack or a development technology on Windows, on Linux, on Mac OS, right? So you can have whatever hardware you have and then you can start working with Nativescript. But we need to tell maybe Apple that you should let us build iOS packages on Windows platform also, but that does not happen. So if you are a Windows guy using Nativescript, you will be able to build a package only Android, because that's what I can do. But if you have a Mac and you install Nativescript, you can build Android and iOS packages on the same laptop or whatever you have. So that's what we mean by use the hardware you already have. Is this kind of mind-blowing? I mean, is this too much for you guys, or okay, we understand what is it talking about? If it is mind-blowing, let's take a look at what is happening. This is the biggest thing. The moment we say JavaScript, people come back and they say, oh, DOM, you have a document object model. No, Nativescript is not DOM. The misconception that is created in the JavaScript, because of the JavaScript, is that traditionally we have seen JavaScript can run only on browser. So we think, oh, it's only DOM. No. You can run JavaScript anywhere, right? Have you heard of Node.js?
Yeah.
So Node.js is a server-side execution environment. But what are you writing code in there? You're writing it in JavaScript. So where is a DOM there in this node? There's no DOM, but you use JavaScript as a developmental language. So that's what we made use of. In Nativescript, we let you use JavaScript as a language, but there's no DOM, right? It's a native UI that we give you. And we don't cross-compile also. How many of you have heard of things like Accelerator, Titanium? Has anybody heard of this? Somebody starts shaking their hand. Heard of it? Accelerator, Titanium, okay, 1, 2, 3 guys, okay, fine, that's okay. So what Accelerator or Titanium did a couple of years back was they said, hey, you know what, you write your code in JavaScript, we'll take care of everything else. So what they did was they gave you a proprietary syntax. You wrote in that syntax, and when you do a build, they take that syntax, convert it into native Java, native iOS code, and then build the package out of it. So if you were a big application, it used to take a lot of time to the build. Why? That's cross-compilation. That means you're compiling it again into a native word. We don't do a cross-compilation. We take your JavaScript as is and run it on the device. Okay? That's what we do. And you don't need any plugin. So typically, developers in the industry have no clue what a mobile application is all about. You know, I've done this for over 5 years now, and then every time I go and then ask, people are confused by the concept of PhoneGap. They think PhoneGap is native mobile application. No. PhoneGap is a hybrid mobile application. It runs only on a browser. What PhoneGap does is, it does a small magic when you do the build. That small magic is, it injects a Java code. It creates an Android activity or an IPA delegate, iPhone delegate, where it hosts a web view and says, hey web view, when you launch, please go look for www root folder, and there is an index.html, load that. So that's what PhoneGap does. But at the end of the day, what you have is just an HTML running it. By the way, I have been an advocate of hybrid for a long time. It's great, it works very well, no problem, but it works only in the modern devices. Why? Because you are dependent on a browser. 3 years ago, the browsers inside your phone are not so great. 3 years ago, you did not have an octa-core or a dual-core or whatever cores, all those things were not there. So that's why they suck big time, right? So, but now, yeah, iPhone 6 Plus, there's great RAM, great cores there, yeah, no problem, the hybrid will work. But everything has a but or everything has a depends to it, right? If you're building a high graphical things, yeah, hybrid won't help you. The thumb rule is, if your application needs 60 frames per second, go native. You cannot do it with hybrid. Hybrid cannot go beyond 30 to 40 frames per second because that's the limitation the browsers put on, right? Okay, so that's what we do. Nativescript is straight up JavaScript running as a native app. Well, nobody asked me this question, but how am I able to run the JavaScript inside a device, like an Android or an iPhone? Well, fairly simple. There's only one guy in this world who knows how to run a JavaScript, and that guy is Virtual Machine, Java Virtual Machine, right? So there is Google V8, that's what we bundle into an Android application. We package it in the Android application. We let the Google V8 run on your device, and then there is our Nativescript runtime or a layer, and we do the marshalling between the JavaScript world and the native world. So that's where Nativescript comes in. But we package Google V8. Your JavaScript code that you write is run inside the Google V8 virtual machine, and on an iPhone or iOS platform, we use what we call as JavaScript code. That's the virtual machine, and we're still looking at what to do for Windows. Is it JavaScript core, or can we go with Chakra? We'll have to take a look at that, but that's next year. The team is working on that. So you write JavaScript, Nativescript utilizes a bridge. It's completely full access to native API. That is all of iOS and Android APIs. In fact, we abstract out a lot of things for you. When I start doing the demo, you'll notice that you don't have to worry about anything. You need a list view, we will give you a list view, just cross-platform. You just write a list view. You need a button, we will give you a button. You just write the button. The button will adapt itself, or the Nativescript will adapt itself on Android and iOS, and will give you the Android button, which is a gray color, and then it will give you, if it's run on an iOS, it will give you the blue color button, which is iOS has that, right? No, we'll do that for you. What we do is we do reflection to look up native APIs, but that reflection is very smart, optimized reflection. During your build time, we generate a metadata. That metadata has all the mappings. What in JavaScript is equivalent to what in the native world. We have that metadata package right away in the build time, and then we keep it in your packages. So at runtime, what happens is I do a lookup, a reflection lookup, but it is faster, it is smarter, and it is optimized, right? So that's what we do. And biggest thing, you have not come across npm.js. If you needed a JavaScript library, the first place to look for is npmjs.com. Just go there, type something, they'll say somebody has written a library. So bring that library into your project. So that's what happened. So there are a bunch of JavaScript libraries which can be used, which don't depend on DOM, can be readily used inside native script. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I need to do a move. So there is a very famous library called as movementjs.com. The site is movementjs.com, the library is movement.js. Let's say I give you a requirement that I'm giving you a date time. I need you to come out and then display a second ago, a minute ago, an hour ago, a day ago, a month ago, a year ago. What will you do? So I give you a date time. Let's say 2016, 16th of October, or 11:30 a.m. But I want this to be displayed as 1 minute ago, or 5 minutes ago, or 1 hour ago. So how would you do that? Right? You're thinking, oh, I'm going to go do a extraction, blah 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 the stuff. Well, you don't have to. Go bring up movement.js, the JavaScript file. You give him the date time and say, give me the movement, and he's going to tell you a second ago. That's it. So somebody has already written a library for you. So you can use plenty of libraries like this from npm.js inside NativeScript. That's what we say, use JS libraries without DOM dependency. And you can share these styles using CSS. You know CSS, you write a style sheet and then say, hey, for this button, I want this background color red, I want the foreground color white. That's it. We apply it on the native button. You don't have to worry about how do you apply style in Android, how do you apply style in iOS. You don't have to worry. Just write a style sheet and then I'm going to show you the demo. So, and this is the biggest thing, TypeScript. So today's talk, what I did was, I did a little bit of cheating. You know, if you take a look at the title again, it will say creating cross-platform mobile application using TypeScript, right? So what we did was, in NativeScript, we did take a look at that, oh, TypeScript is becoming a very popular language. People might like to use it, so let's provide the support, right? I like TypeScript personally. You know, I kind of grown from the JavaScript world where you write a lot of functions, one file has 1,000 functions and then 1,000 lines of code. Yeah, I come from there. But TypeScript did something smart. It started giving us the future capabilities now itself. You know, the browser don't have this concept of classes, interfaces, all those things because JavaScript is a typeless language. But TypeScript went out and said, I'm going to give you typings. You can create a class, you can create a public property, you can create a private property, you can create functions, you can expose functions. Yeah, so I like that because I come from an object-oriented world for 15 years, C#. So I'm more comfortable writing a class, exposing a public property, creating a private property. So that's what TypeScript provides you. You know, the type language that you can now start programming. Not only that, TypeScript has a compiler. If you make a mistake, meaning I have a function, I'm expecting a string, but somebody somewhere went out and then started passing maybe an integer, it won't compile at all, saying like, hey, this line of code you're passing integer, but the function expects string. So I cannot compile. So that's what you get with TypeScript. Compilation checks before it goes and then bombs in the browser. How many times have you written a function? It worked very well because you always passed a string, but it ran on the production side, and then in the text box, user entered 1, 2, 3. It bombed because you were expecting a string, you did a toString, but there's no character involvement there. It's a number, right? So yeah, those kind of things is what TypeScript provides you. Well, where to start? Basically, you can always go, we are open source. NativeScript as a technology is open source, $0. Believe me when I say this, it's an Apache v2 license. You can go to nativescript.org and then get started from there. I'm going to kind of fast forward and then kind of tell you what I've already done. The prerequisites is, if you are on a Windows machine, you need to install JDK, you need to install Node.js, and you need to install Android Studio or Android SDK. Those are the three things that you need as a prerequisite. And NativeScript itself is available as a NPM module. As you can see there, I've said NPM install globally NativeScript, and you get NativeScript runtime, technology, whatever on your laptop, desktop. Then how you create an application is you just say TNS, that's the short form for the command, and you say create and give it an app name. right? Once you do TNS create an app name, it goes ahead, creates the whatever skeleton structure that is required for the native script, and next you say what is the target platform you are supporting. My app supports Android, so you will have to say TNS platform add Android. If you are on Mac, you can go and say TNS platform add iOS. So that means now my project is supporting to Android and iOS. Then all you do is you just do a run, meaning TNS run Android, so that will run an Android emulator, or it will run on an Android device that is connected to your laptop. Or if you want to do an iOS, you just say TNS run iOS. So what we do is we do the Apk packaging or an IPA packaging and then run it on that particular emulator or a device. Okay? In the interest of the time, what I have done is I have already done all this, whatever you're seeing. I've installed Node.js, I've installed JDK, I've installed the Java runtime, I've installed Android SDK, and I've also installed Nativescript. And I've also done these steps: TNS create application name, TNS create this, TNS create that, all those stuff. Where I'm going to start is, I will quickly get going with the demo part. So let me open up my application. So the use case, I always do my talk with the use case. The use case for this particular talk was, I'm not sure why Tech Bhubaneswar team did not think about a mobile application. It would have been cool instead of the flyers that have been given to you as a schedule, saying like, hey, go download the app has a schedule, the app has a speaker, you can do whatever you want, so that we could have saved maybe 600 in a paper. So what I did was, I went and take a look at these speakers here, this particular URL which is speakers, right? So every speaker has been listed here with what title or what session he's doing. Then I want to convert this into a mobile application. I already have done it. So let me quickly show you what will be the end result so that we know how it looks like. So where is mine? So I'm using an emulator, as you can see. As you can see, this is the Nativescript. Does it look good? I don't know how the screen is looking there. Is it looking good? Okay, that's what I did. I sat down, maybe I did not know how the internet will be here. Because in the hotel they said it's a GeoNet, and he's it's a GeoNet here also. And internet sucked big time in the hotel. I couldn't connect, whatever. I don't know why. Maybe a poor networking there, but whatever it is, I just couldn't connect. So what I did was I completely changed my complete demos, and I have I went to Tech Bhubaneswar website, screen scraped everything, the speakers list, everything, and created a JSON file. And I have a JSON file kept inside the mobile application. So when the mobile application starts, it reads the JSON file, and then as you can see, I have 4 tracks: mobile, cloud, testing, general, right? And then we saw Siddharth giving the keynote, and then he has one more session. So now I can see that Siddharth is there. So what is he presenting? Well, Siddharth is so-and-so. He is from so-and-so company. Here is his description. What is he? And then notice here I have, this is the Android segment app view. I can click on sessions, and then there you go. This is the session that he's giving. He's giving a session on Woodstock Innovation in Silicon Valley from 10 to 11 at general track. So consider this as a general track. And then he also has Swift AI and big data, the future of web and mobile, maybe at 11:30 or 2:40 or something at mobile and web. So here only, right? So this is what I will try to build in, how much time I have? I have 30 minutes? Okay, let's get going. So I want your support too. So let's see if I make a mistake, don't worry. Not this one, so let me open up a new window. By the way, since this is JavaScript and TypeScript, I'm using an editor called as Visual Studio Code. It is an open source editor from Microsoft. It will run on Linux, it will run on Mac, it will run on Windows. And a fantastic editor if you are a JavaScript guy. Believe me, if you're doing TypeScript and if you use Visual Studio Code, you will love programming. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, I've already done all the steps that I showcased, which is basically TNS create my application. So I've already done TNS create Tech Bhubaneswar, so that's the name of it. And I've set UI that you're getting it. This is not a web view. Why? Why do I say that? Take a look at the button. The button is gray color. That's what your vanilla or your stock Android OS gives you as a. We are here for Tech Bhubaneswar. Yesterday night I sat down and then created the data for this. So the data is here. So we have in page 1 to page 2. So next